I know that Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard have had good records and they've got them there. Are you telling me with a straight face that there couldn't have been an easier road here? Because I think there could have.
So
you're telling me you couldn't find a goalie who only allowed 3 goals a game?
So we all agreed Pickard should play Game 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we all agree Skinner should play Game 6. And I think that's the problem.
Sid tweeted out, if you don't know who your starter is at this point in the finals, then you never had one.
Crosby?
Damn.
Crosby should start for them.
Sid?
Yeah, Sidney Crosby.
No,
he doesn't
Sidney
talk
Sixero.
shit publicly.
Oh, Sid Sixero.
Friend of the show.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
God.
And I think he's right.
No, I know. I just want to clarify for people who didn't know who Sid was.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Listen,
Sid. No one's ever been named that before. Just the one guy.
Never. Sid Abel. We're going to need some late series magic from Stuart Skinner. This is what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
Florida's the better team. The Stanley Cup doesn't always go to the best team.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, congrats, you're the best team, but you lost.
Yep.
Right? Like, there's no award for that. If you're Edmonton, you've won 2 games as the second best team.
Yep.
In this series. That's okay. You're right in it. How do you find a way to win 2 straight, highest stakes possible, biggest stage possible as the second best team? Connor has to be complete magic.
Mm-hmm.
Draisaitl has to be complete magic.
Which they should anyway. This is the time to be magic.
Yeah, fine. Great. Connor, he had a bad game through 40.
Yep.
Even though he had 2 grade A scoring chances to start the game. No actual shots on goal. Then he gets one, then he gets a goal. Right? And it's a Connor goal. Holy shit. It's so crazy. Those 2 have to be magic. Skinner has to be magic.
And he can.
He can. We need 2 games. And you never be magic again. Okay? Never. You're Cam Ward for the rest of your career. You peak at however many years
paid like
old,
Cam Ward
and
did.
you'll get paid like that forever.
Yeah.
For the next 15 years, they'll be like, but what? It'll be 2040, and they'll be like, but what if we get 2025 Stuart Skinner, right? Can you give us 2 games of magic? Because that is very literally the only chance the Oilers have. There's just no scenario
That's
where
tough.
you get mediocre goaltending in game 6 and 7 and win.
Yeah.
There's
Florida won't allow that.
Or you get otherworldly performances from Edmonton's depth who were completely neutralized last game. Kapanen has to be in your game 6 lineup. This
Arvidsson just didn't give them the pop they needed. He was
I don't
never in a million
understand the
years
point.
that I think I'd be advocating so hard for you got to take Arvidsson out for Kapanen.
But I think we might see this might be the downside of Arvidsson's career, as great as it's been. I'm not saying he's not useful, but I look at where he's at and the injuries he's had, and I love Victor Arvidsson, but I feel like Kapanen's the guy right now.
I also don't have a read on what Knobloch's leash is at all. He benched Troy Stetcher for an hour.
Yeah.
And then went back to him the next game,
But
which was so confusing.
Yeah,
And
so
I'm not-
why wasn't he playable that game? Why would you choose to put your team at a disadvantage and have 5 defensemen for 2.5 periods because the game went to OT?
Now, here's the thing, though. They won, so it's like, oh, well, maybe you should have.
Yeah, but they won with a self-inflicted injury.
Right.
Like,
right.
I don't. What is the mentality?
I have a point, though.
Give it to me.
I have a point, though. Podkolzin was actually the guy in Game 5 who got stapled.
Mm-hmm.
That man had 2 points in Game 4. He scored the game-tying goal, and he assisted on the overtime winner.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You played him 10 minutes and 11 seconds
Mm-hmm.
in Game 5 because he did take a bad penalty. He did. He had 7 hits in those 10 minutes. He had 2 points the game before. Put that young man on the ice. What are you doing?
The
And
lineup
Arvidsson-
decisions are questionable.
Yeah, Arvidsson was a -1. Jeff Skinner, I liked in Game 4. He wasn't really a factor in Game 5.
Nobody in the depth had a good Game 5.
No, and I'm like even a little disappointed in I'd like more out of Janmark. I'd like more out of Henrique. I'd like the last couple games has just made me shake my head and sigh at the idea of if only Zach Hyman was in this series, how different might it look? He ain't here.
Yeah.
He ain't here. He's not going to be here. I even, for a brief moment today, was like, it's an elimination game for the Oilers. Does he? No, he won't.
He can't.
He cannot. He cannot.
Well, I mean, Bergeron played with a punctured lung. I can see why you had.
Yeah, but they already confirmed he's out for like 3 months.
They already did.
Yeah.
Yes, they already. No, he might not even play the beginning of the season. Like, no one is coming through that door.
Right.
Is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Very literally.
Maybe you.
Maybe me.
Like now that you have that
now
goal.
that you got that gritty goal,
Yeah,
you're turning your back on your first goal like you don't even care.
Maybe McDavid heard about your goal.
Do you need an MVP? Huh? They need, like, again, it's narrative slop, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Magic.
Tomorrow
Magic
night.
is a big part of sports.
Tomorrow night, you are the head coach of the Edmonton Oilers. Who are you starting? And while you think about that, let me read the quote from Stan Bowman because I pulled it up from The Athletic. It's even worse than I remember. He said, I know that for whatever reason, he seems to get some criticism. He's talking about Stuart Skinner.
For whatever reason, you condescending. Oh, my God.
I guess goalies in general tend to. I've never really understood why. It's just the randomness of fans or the media. I just look at it. How is he performing from November on? He's been very consistent. He's been a very good goalie. Goalies always have a goal here and there you don't like. Well, we're going to look at every option for improving, but I would say no. That's not a big issue with our team.
Yeah, I mean, they can keep saying it, and it can keep not being true. I mean, I don't.
Stan Bowman.
And you know, Kyle Dubas, and I'll say it again and again and again, told us Cody Cece's numbers were actually good, and we don't need to have a referendum on them.
Didn't he head into a season with Matt Murray and Ilya Samsonov?
Yeah, and Peter Mrazek at one point too.
He got promoted. I'm going to keep saying that until it's not true.
Listen, there are organizational beliefs that sometimes you just have to believe whether it's true or not, because you're not in the stage of thinking rationally and clearly. You are in the stage of, we're 2 wins from the Stanley Cup. These are the goalies we have. There's nothing we can do about it. So I got to pump my guys' tire.
This was at the trade deadline.
Oh,
like this is
then you're a friggin' moron.
This is what he said.
So
this is what he said about not making a move to get a goalie.
Here's the only justification for that decision. Skinner pulls it off. That's it. Skinner,
but you know what they'll say?
Well, we got close.
We got close. And listen, as a team that gets close in the first and second round all the time, no.
So who are you starting? My original question.
Skinner.
Oh, okay.
Skinner easily. Listen, Pickard had an incredible record.
He's Calvin Pickard.
He's fine. And this is not the time for fine. This is the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah. The only thing that gives me pause is, like, if you're getting a baseline with Pickard that you don't really have with Skinner.
And the baseline's not good enough.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But like the ceiling can be as good.
He didn't even, and we did talk about this, he didn't look good during the comeback in game 4.
Yeah.
He only allowed the 1 goal.
We mentioned it.
Yeah, but no, that dude was synchronized swimming in his net. Yeah. He was all over the friggin' place. Skinner is the only one of the two with a ceiling high enough to do this. And if he doesn't, well, I'll see you Wednesday to talk about the Panthers winning back.
Yeah, you went down with the ship at least.
So, yes. Okay.
If you don't start Skinner game 6, you're trading him this offseason.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.